I'm giving it to you.
Oh,
Now he's
okay.
giving it to you.
And Ian actually ran you a copy in your package, and you have.
So the same, well, you,
I
that's the
believe
same as
so,
what's
yes,
there?
yes. This is the.
Like before they do anything. Yes, sorry.
Oh, good morning, Hendricks County.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to all of you. And super congratulations to Indiana University. It's awesome to have a national champion, especially the first time for IU. And that's a Boilermaker who just said that.
That's what I was thinking.
So, but I think it's fantastic. If you'll join the council pledge allegiance, the Honorable Mr. Hessen, as you can see, is ready for today, will lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, the first order of the council is the election of officers for 2026. Floor will be open now for nominations.
Mr. President, I nominate Larry Scott, President.
We have a nomination. Is there other nominations? And see, we need a second for that, I believe.
You second something?
And
You second?
Yes.
we need a second for that.
Second.
Is there a motion to close, apparently?
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second that motion.
A second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next, we have the election for vice president. Are there nominations?
Motion to elect Dave Cox, Vice President.
We have a motion to elect Dave Cox as vice president. Is there a second?
Second?
We have a second. We have a motion and a second. Is there, see, I think we need to close the nominations if there are not any more.
Motion to close.
We have a motion to close. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second to close. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Thank you.
Mr. President, so we've closed the nominations, but we haven't actually voted on the election. So just kind of a cleanup motion. I move that as there have been only one candidate for each of the positions, that each of those candidates be declared elected.
Okay, we need a motion to declare the two candidates elected.
Yes.
I'll second his motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Thank you. Next is council appointments for this year. And as usual, there's several of them. The first one would be for the Area Plan Commission. Is there, I don't know that we do, I guess we do nominations on that, or is
Well,
it just
actually,
where they're
they're-
interested?
Typically, we ask if they're interested in staying, continuing in that capacity.
Okay, so I guess it would be David Wyeth if he's interested in continuing on the Plan Commission.
I'd like to. Plan Commission is actually having some workshops that we're starting to work on with the new comprehensive plan that was approved last year. So it'd be sort of nice to continue following through with that, and some of my agricultural background and some planning and zoning I've been involved with other things. I think it sort of makes a good fit.
Counselor, do we need to do motions and seconds on that, or is that just adoptable?
If you're adopting all of these at once, you can do it all at once if you're all in agreement.
Okay. All right, is there
As
anyone
presented.
else interested in the plan commission? Okay, we'll move on then to the emergency management advisory. Mr. Parsons?
My appointment there is acceptable, sir. Thank you.
Is there anyone else on that? Okay, we will move on to the next one, which would be the Fair Board. Mr. Wyeth, you served on that.
Would love to continue that. As you all know, we have some planning that's going on that will come back to the council maybe sometime to look at some things for the future of the fairgrounds.
Anyone else interested? Okay, we will go on to the economic development. Is Eric Watson?
Sure.
He is interested. Anyone else? No? The Health Board Liaison, Mr. Heffernan.
Yes, I'd like to serve again.
Okay. The Senior Services is David Cox.
And like you say with that, you know.
All right. Solid Waste, this March, not March, but
I'd
March.
like to stay on that.
Okay. Solid Waste, Chuck Parsons.
I will accept that responsibility as well, sir.
All right. Youth Assistance Programs, the YAP, better known as YAP, Mr. Cox.
I'd be fine with staying with that.
All right. Communications Center Advisory Board, Mr. Watson.
Yep.
All right. Let's see, we have another one on the tourism.
Actually,
Ms. Mark.
I
Those are-
would continue.
Those are commissioner appointments, I believe.
It is, that's true. So we would be recommending
Yeah.
to the commissioners in this March that for the Alcohol Beverage Commission, Nicholas, I think that's
Schmoody.
Schmoody.
Oh, thank you, I'm sorry that.
Well, I have one question on that. I read through that. Ron, is that, I thought that we had some type of party affiliation connected to it. And I didn't see anywhere on the paperwork where they asked what party it was connected to.
I think the Democrat Party.
I think he is, and I think that was a requirement that we needed, actually, when we originally appointed him. So I'm fine with it. I just wanted, I was curious of why the paperwork doesn't need to be changed to ask party affiliation.
Okay. That's a state form. So I contacted Mr. Smitty when he took over for Mr. Trapp.
That's right.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Trapp
And
served
to
on
verify,
that for a long time.
and I checked his voting record. I knew he was a Democrat, but
Yeah.
I also checked it.
All right.
So we need hit the state to change their form of wishes. I don't know why we should have an additional form, but we ask that question, but that needs to be confirmed every time.
So the council would be in favor of reappointment.
That's fine.
All right. For the Economic Development Commission at Avon, Mr. Tom Downard.
I make a motion to leave it there.
We have a motion, and I guess it would be appropriate for a motion and a second.
Recommendation to leave it there.
The rep,
Since the rest of the stuff's all recommendation.
it's a nomination, that's right. Okay, is there a second?
I'm fine with it.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes 7-0. The Economic Development Commission for Brownsburg, Michael Diener, I believe it's pronounced.
So moved.
I have a motion to nominate. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion to second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Passes 7-0. Economic Development Commission for Danville, Jerry Vornholt.
So moved.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Economic Development Commission for Plainfield, Mr. Scott Slavens.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve that nomination. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. For the Hendricks County Redevelopment Commission, Mr. Judd Wolf, which is a council appointment.
I move his appointment as well as Linda Watson Stands for a former member of the council.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve Mr. Wolf and Ms. Stansberry for the 26. All those in favor, signify aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. And I think that is it for the 2026, for at least for now. I think it'll be May before there's another appointment coming up for the library.
I make a motion that we approve all of our nominations.
Okay, we have a motion to approve all of our nominations.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. All right, thank you very much. Moving on to our next item is the approval of the 2026 council calendar.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve 2026 calendar. Those, second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Okay, our next item is the approval of minutes. First off would be our regular December 16th, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion or is there corrections, errors? Anyone want to?
I move the approval of the minutes of our, for our December 16th meeting.
We have a motion for the December 16th minutes. Second?
Second.
We have a second. Mr. Wyeth, discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, passes 7-0. Next, we have the minutes for the special meeting that was held on December 30th. Is there a motion or corrections needed?
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve the December 30th minutes. A second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the December 30th minutes. Discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next is, under old business, is approval of bonus payouts.
Motion to
For
approve.
25, pay 26.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Mr. Cox. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second from Mr. Parsons. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Under new business, our first item is ratifying end of 2025 transfers. Is there comments, thoughts on that, or discussion?
Yeah, I have some comments, and Rhonda and Ann and Paula and I discussed in the other room. The list is quite large, as you notice, and there is an ordinance that the threshold for these penny after payroll is up to $100. So there's far more on there than that for different purposes, and I'm still of the mind that payroll items that need large amounts needs to come to the council for an additional appropriation. So, and we've discussed that, and there's just some, it needs to be ratified because they're done. It's the end of the year and these are done. So,
So the three
Some
of you are
misunderstanding.
agreed on that?
So what we're gonna do, it's, some of the things we're not aware of, we did have the council meeting and lessons learned. When you have the final payroll and then you realize that you have an account that's in the negative, sometimes it's a PTO that was a payout earlier in the year, should have been taken care of earlier in the year and was not taken care of. You know, busy life, whatever happens, it's not an excuse, it's just, it happened. What we've put in place is going forward, every month, we will look and see, we get the notifications if somebody's retired or whatever PTO, so we're gonna go through and we will have a notification every month. We're gonna run a couple reports. If there's a PTO payout, we will come back to council and ask for an additional for that particular payout, because we know that's part of what it is, versus doing at the end of the year going, oh, we have a negative in the account. The only ones that we're allowed to have a negative are any grants that are reimbursing. So my training, my learning and stuff, in my head, it's, I can't have a negative. I was able to have, thank goodness we had accounts that we didn't spend. So we didn't increase the budget, we transferred the budget, but we didn't go back to the correct process of coming back and asking. So slap my hand, we learned. Going forward, we will have some things in place that every month, if we have a PTO payout, we will bring it to before we do those. And some of these were also overtime from highway for work done and stuff. So things that we're gonna look at a little bit differently in our office going forward.
Counselor, how should we handle this item today?
I can just take it under advisement.
Okay. I think I might need a motion for that, to take it under advisement, or not. Don't
Not
need
really, it's
to?
just a report that,
Okay.
Acknowledged.
what's, I'll acknowledge it. It can be written in the minutes, but
Okay, under new business on item A, we will take that under advisement.
if you're asking just what she's saying, the new process, but if for ratifying this, you do need to take a motion on this.
Right.
We still need a motion to ratify this.
I make a motion to ratify.
Okay, we have a motion to ratify item A. Is there a second?
I'll second it because they're done and it needs to be ratified,
Yeah.
so.
So it needs to be ratified, but then there needs to be corrections later too.
Yep.
So we have a motion to ratify and a second. Is there just further discussion? All those, hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 7-0. Item A.
You can't second something.
Yes.
Item B, our next item is to ratify the 2025 into the 2026 encumbrances.
Yes, these are after the final numbers.
I think I figured this out with cumulative bridge. It's just a cumulative number that John Ayers just keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. That's what that defines.
So it's John Ayers that just keeps rolling?
Yeah, well, if you look at it, it's, yeah, he's got what, $7-some-odd million here, so he's like the federal government, just keeps printing it.
Okay, well, it's Happy New Year apparently. Okay, so
Motion to approve.
we have a motion to approve the 2025 to 2026 encumbrance request.
Second.
We have a second. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next is the engagement letter for legal services contracted for the council, with our council.
Mr. President, this year has been kind of an extraordinary year in many respects. And we've called upon council to assist us through some not difficult times, but intricate times with respect to especially our payroll. And I would have to say I've been very, very pleased with the services that we've have been rendered to us by our council. And as a consequence, I would move that we approve the engagement letter that we've received and have Cook Government Advisors by Rhonda Cook as our counsel for 2026.
Okay, we have a motion to,
Yeah, this is a motion to recommend to the commissioners approval. Now they have to do all contracts at the commissioners level.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to recommend to the commissioners as our legal advisor. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0.
Just a thought that occurred to me, with the commissioners have to approve the contract, and I was just thinking of a situation that occurred in Owen County a few years ago where there was a conflict between the commissioners and the council, and the council had to hire separate counsel because county attorney was representing the commissioners. Well, what would have happened under certain current law if the commissioners simply refused to approve the contract for counsel, for legal counsel for the county council? Just a thought.
There's a process for that in law now,
Sure.
how you would address that, so.
There is,
yeah.
there is
There is,
because I was thinking in the past,
yeah.
probably the council would take some negative action that the commissioners wouldn't like either.
Well, there's a process that it's for any office holder, so it could be counsel or it could be auditor or recorder. A contract is not signed, and there's a process for them to go through where they can sign their own. That's basically what happens, yeah. That's in that new law that passed about 3 years ago.
I think that's a good one, so. Okay, next on our agenda under new business is Mr. Dawes concerning a hiring request.
And Aaron Hughes.
And Aaron.
Yes.
Aaron Hughes.
We're a tag team. And just to point out to everybody, when you stood for the flag, Pledge of Allegiance, and so on, you have black pants on and a gold sweater, so you covered Purdue. I didn't know if you did that on purpose or not. But
Mr. Dawes, you are very observant.
So Aaron and I are here to present to you, and I think you have a document that is the resume of the individual that we propose to hire for the manager's position for the animal shelter. This individual has over 20 years of experience, very good experience, and we think that she, it's a lady, is very appropriate for this position. It has been offered to her, but she has been told that we need to discuss it with the council. So I will let Aaron go into some details.
That's all right. All right, so the position has been posted since December 1st of 2025. Todd did interview this candidate. This candidate is the best, most qualified person for this position. You can see from their resume that they have multiple years of experience. This is something where they already have experience doing this type of work, just looking at their resume. So when we went out to them to send an offer, the offer was for at the mid, and they have counter-offered and asked for $69,500. So we are asking that their starting rate be at $69,500 at a grade 30.
What is the mid-level of the range?
$65,560.
So you're proposing her qualifications are such that for another
Yes.
basically 4,000.
Yes.
Right.
This would be a good hire.
Yeah.
What's the job title?
There would be the animal shelter supervisor. Mhm.
Grading there.
They're a grade 30.
Who will she respond to? Commissioners?
Commissioners. Mhm.
Questions, council? Have Questions, comments?
Start date.
As soon as we can get through this, then we will talk about a start date. I'm sure they probably want to turn in 2 weeks, which I believe it's adequate, appropriate.
Not that I have anything against folks from Hancock County.
Larry,
Is-
Larry, we were not going to mention her name or location because your attorney for the council is in Hancock County. Well, now it's out because if this didn't work out, we didn't want the individual to run into any issues over there perhaps that might get back to the commissioners in Hancock County.
I think it's going to work out.
But I think she'll keep her information
That's
confidential.
client privileges, I think.
Thank you.
Will this person then be commuting back and forth?
Those details are yet to be worked out.
Well,
Is there a motion to approve this?
yes,
of-
I move that we approve the requested salary.
Is there a second? Do I have a second for Mr. Cox? Is there more discussion, further discussion?
Aaron, how does the requested salary compare to the previous managers?
It is less than.
Thank you.
But the previous manager, they also had 2 sections that they oversaw.
Okay.
So yes,
That's fine.
yeah.
Thank you.
Other questions, discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Description, I wanted to see the exact title. We'll probably have to move that part out.
Next, under new business, future local income tax rates.
Thank-
Mr. Garitas.
Thank you and good morning. It's a really cold morning in Hendricks County, but for some reason, after last night, it feels awful warm. Maybe my blood pressure's still up from last night. I don't know.
Well, it's 70 degrees someplace and the sun is shining.
Yes, yes. So you have in front of you, I passed out a copy. This is the latest. In notice on the front, I put SB1 and SB2. You know, I've been dubbing this new one as SB2, okay? It may be 1259, it may be whatever. They're taking a little heat off, I believe, of Representative Thompson by putting in all the heat in the Senate. So it's kind of interesting. And for everybody, I may see you next Monday morning at 7 a.m. It'll be interesting at the fairgrounds because that's the legislative breakfast. And Denny, I know you'll be there. So a couple things that I wanted to point out that are very, very important as we go forward. And this is, so you had this 1215 version last year, but we've updated it. So this is the most recent. But right now, the concern is that Hendricks County's rate will go, actually every county's rate will go down likely to 0.70, and I'm on page 5. Okay, and then I'm going to get, Dave had a couple questions on some of we did put some of the cities and towns in there in the back, estimated, and so I'll show you that. The concern is statewide, or the observation statewide is that the 1.2 is not high enough for cities and towns. So the likelihood is that will change. Now, the cap of 2.9, I think is pretty adamant about staying, at least in the Senate bills and everything I've seen, it's staying at that cap. So when one goes up, somebody might have to go down. The one that I'm concerned about on page, and it's already written in the proposals, is that the county will go down, county rates will go down to 0.70. Remember, we had a nice breathing room, and let me explain this page to you. The far right-hand side is the minimum future lit. That's what I'm saying is your break even, because right here you see the 2026 certified lit without supplemental, okay? Without supplemental, because we don't know that yet, right? Is 48 million, so that would mean a break-even rate of 0.62. That was really good when we had a 1.2 cap as defined in SB 1. It is not going to be so good if we go to 0.70, okay? Because guess what? That's not a lot of breathing room. The breathing room is 54 versus 48, right there, okay? I think it's very likely this will occur. So I'm giving you an all points bulletin in that you may want to be careful as you as you start your 2027 budget planning, because cash balances, as we said in the past, are going to be awful valuable. And if we were to do any capital improvements, and I had recommended to the commissioners that we get back together, in the next couple months and update our capital improvement plan, because Standard & Poor's will be coming after us, and we want the target resolution, minimum target resolution to have a 26 date on it. We want the capital plan to have a 26 date on it. But if we are due to do any of those things going forward, probably going to have to end up getting a special purpose lit or something. But it is going to make that planning even more difficult, okay? The good news is we got Ronald Reagan Parkway bonds within the current lit, so it's within the 48 million, but that may mean less economic development or seeded in the future for other things, because that will take part of it up, obviously, for our ongoing obligation. So remember, we had always proposed during the planning that if we do something at the fairgrounds, we would roll that tax rate over, property tax rate, and that's looking like something you really, really want to make sure you do, okay? So, because you would not be able to, under this schematic design, fit it under that. Questions on that? And again, this one size fits all throughout 91 counties, since Indianapolis gets their own. I just don't see it working. I was in Tippecanoe County last week. They are going to have problems. Hancock is going to get kind of close too. Spoke on that earlier or last week. And so there's lots of concerns that there will be no breathing room. That will also impact, more than likely credit ratings that they always want to say, well, what's your runway? What's the ability if you have issues? What can you go to? And so that will be.
So Senate Bill 2, is that this year, Senate Bill 2?
I'm calling it Senate Bill 2. I'm calling it that. It's 12.
Who's wanting to change it from 1.2 to 0.7?
The Senate.
Cities and towns?
The cities and towns are really saying, and if you go to Plainfield here, and Dave, our estimation is, Dave said, on page 13, why are these two numbers the same? Well, the reason is they need approximately 20 million and they can't raise it with 1.2. Under our estimated, the Senate bill even comes out and says, we don't know the boundaries yet, and we're going to make the auditor chief in charge of GIS for the entire Plainfield, making sure that you got all annexations, all de-annexations, all anything else, to the state on a timely basis so they can get the geographic boundaries of each municipality. That'll be interesting. And so having all those documentation, obviously the city and the town will be it'll be important for them to get that information to you. But that's your answer, Eric. They're saying when you go across the, 500 cities and towns, and they may lower that 3,500, by the way, and capture another 65. But those are, the 1.2 is not high enough, okay? Now, if you notice on the other ones, most of the other ones, our estimation is for Danville. They look fine. They've got breathing room. I'm back on page 14. 15, 15 is Pittsboro. They're real close at 110 versus 120. And then on page 16, Avon looks to be real okay. And that's, rumor has it, one of the poster child, so to
Well,
speak.
it's because their rate is so low because they're new.
Bingo. I helped annex them or put them together.
Yes.
You know, so I know that well, and that's the reason. You hit it, Eric. And so now the other significant change that we saw in the Senate bill was that the 40 basis points for fire and EMS. Matter of fact, it was quite interesting because I was just in Hancock County last week, and the group there, all the fire chiefs said they hadn't even heard that. They were aware of the 40 basis points limit when you create a new territory, but they didn't know their 40 lit was going to possibly go down to 20. Meaning that everything we've put in here, we have it, the estimated lit on page 8, basically you would cut in half.
And is that proposal out there to cut it to 20?
Pardon me?
There's a proposal out there to cut?
Yes, the 40 to 20 for fire and
So
EMS.
they're taking cities out of that. They're taking the city departments out, I believe.
Yeah, so because they're, or what I call career fire. Career fire will be excluded, but this will include everybody else. So basically, the everybody else will probably be half, could be half of what they were.
Where's the taxes gonna come from to pay for the city fire departments then?
From the city tax rate, it's my understanding, which hopefully, or they're gonna raise, right?
Well, what if you're a township fire department and you're full-time?
Then you have, I believe you may have a challenge. Okay, so,
Are territories considered city fire departments?
They're under the county.
right,
So it doesn't apply to us.
They're not a
We
career.
have no city.
pardon me?
Brownsburg Fire Territory, their career.
Fire, there's two things to remember. There's fire territories that are established within a territory, which is Brownsburg Fire Territory. They're responsible basically to themselves, work with the town of Brownsburg, not the county. Then there's fire districts. The districts are the responsibility of the county. And the county appoints the board for the fire district, and they begin to work closely then as a, I don't want to use the word department, like we have departments, but they would become a department of the county then. And that's something we probably are going to have to begin to look at on the parts of Hendricks County that have a lot of volunteer fire departments that exist right now. Those that have a mix, such as Liberty Township, has some full-time paid fire folks, but they operate a lot volunteer. And so as things move ahead, we're gonna begin to talk more with those volunteer departments out there and look at establishing a district that either is in one township or we combine townships.
And I think that there will be some tweaking and some specificity in the language as we go forward, Eric, on
When
that.
are they gonna have all this, since we have to pass these tax rates next year?
I actually believe it's going to be delayed a year, and I'll be surprised if it's not delayed another year, but it's already in the Senate bill to be 29. So there's going to be more tweaking.
To cut counties from 1.2 to 0.7 is huge. And apparently this is in the Senate. Perhaps the House cannot agree with them.
There is a House version also, and obviously there'll be reconciliation between the
How are
two.
counties that are like over 3% now gonna go down to 0.7?
Well, remember, those are like Pulaski County, which I established many years ago. That was a special purpose rate, Eric. So what we have to do is you have to parse out those, because they have agreed even though it seemed like there was some muddy water, that the special purposes are out of all of this.
At 1.7, we're in the lower half of income taxes in the state, aren't we?
Let's see, I had it in your sustainability, you're pretty low, yes, maybe midpoint.
So how are all of these other counties going to survive on,
Bankruptcy court.
0.7
yeah?
and losing population.
Again, it'll be, it's the one size fits all that I just don't think is gonna really, that may need some work. But again, you have to go in and look at the 91 counties and take out the special purposes that exist, and I think there's about 18 or 20 of them. But here in Hendricks County, we don't have any of those. We are all under this that I've demonstrated here. So the runway, I believe, has gotten shorter. That's what I want to make you aware of now. Stay tuned.
Mr. Claus?
I know it was mentioned earlier about the legislative breakfasts that are coming up, and my hunch is there will be a lot of folks at those breakfasts posing questions to the legislators sitting in front of them about a lot of what you're discussing right now. That's gonna be brought up, I'm sure. Yeah.
I just like them to have an hour long of questions rather than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It would be so much beneficial. Yes, Nancy, sir.
When this first came out, I tried contacting Jeff Thompson because Hendricks County has many anomalies, but the two that are concerning to me is the Avon Washington Township Fire Department, which is a township fire department with a multi-million-dollar it's big stuff.
They're quite large, yes.
And Pittsboro Fire Department is Middle Township Fire Territory, managed by the township, so it's also a fire territory.
And by the way, we lay all those out on page 2 and 3.
We're gonna have to fund those two out of our rate?
No, I don't think so, Nancy. I
Okay.
don't think so at this point in time. So I wouldn't, I think I heard Scott Bess in this morning's telereporter, don't go too far off the diving board quite yet. Let's bring it back to reality. There's going to be some tweaking that needs to take place. So I don't think that's the case. Do I think consolidation of these fire departments? Absolutely. It's already been discussed in Hendricks County, Dennis knows. And so, there's going to be some things that are going to happen like that. So, no, I do not believe out of your 0.70 that will be the case, but stay tuned. We're midway, right? The boys and girls go home when? February 28th?
27th, I think.
27th, 28th?
Yeah, they're gonna try to get it
February
finished before
29th.
then.
Yeah, and so then we'll have to kind of, I just think it's important for us to all to understand, and just like Tippy, they did not pay their 27 pays out. They just said, we're gonna take your salary and divide by 27. We're not gonna give an increase, where other counties had done the increase. Some people are doing those damage controls already and made their employees matter in hell. But the answer is, do you want that or do you want zero for the next, couple of years? And so that's where the financial planning is going to be very important for the council and the commissioners going forward.
To me, it's going to be very sad for our citizens, and there'll have to be reductions in services.
Yeah, hopefully.
It just is, and as I spoke here earlier, some counties, they're very low on services now to their citizens. So it's almost as if the elected officials are not representing their areas, their citizens.
I like to say Martin County, when you're 50% tax exempt and they're a client of ours and they were like, can we sign your contract quick enough? Because we're gonna need a lot of help. And they don't have, you can't tax people in PLE, right? Or not PLE, but.
Yeah, Brown County
some
would be in
of
the
those.
same
Yeah.
thing, because I think more than half of the county is state property.
The good news is here, we've had good, stable economic growth. I keep telling everybody, if Brad builds a really nice house, that's awesome. That does, not gonna do a lot on property taxes, but if the guy is rich and famous that moves in it, and it has a really high income, that's what we want, but then that's what everybody wants now. And you even see the cities and towns, and obviously, that's how Hamilton County will fare with the .70 very, very well, because they're real low on the totem pole. So our economic development movement ahead is also very, very important, and I know the planning department asked me to, come in and maybe update.
Well, there's a
that
House
study.
bill that's gonna get rid of all of the zoning and everything, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of other bills, as Rhonda will tell you, that could really upset the apple cart. This year, they're liable to go away pretty quick. They will probably be like some of those movies where the rising from the dead will come back next year. So,
Well, hey, between this mess but nice interest rates, should we or Hamlin start looking at Justice Center for 26 or 27?
I would keep your capital improvement plan moving. I think justification, I went with, I told you Monroe County was trying to do their 220 Justice Center. That's what the entire campus was going to take. They went down and asked for a special purpose. They seemed to get the opinion of that wouldn't be a problem, but they had to back off because of the .70 and some of those things was going to constrain their operations so much that they were going to now have to use their edit, that was doing capital improvements and doing other things. They'll have to start bringing that into operations. So Dave, you can't put your head in the sand. We never have here in Hendricks County. It doesn't pay to do that. I wouldn't rush it, but I would keep proceeding with the planning, and there may be some off-ramps we have to take that are different than we've taken before. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Because the last thing we want to do is fold our pup tent, right? And because you can't afford to do that, and again, we're, Hancock, Hendricks, Hamilton, Boone, you've all been quite strong in your supplemental lit, which should, when we get to real time, be real-time lit. And so, stay tuned. It's going to be fun. It's going to be like last night, a tough ball game.
Greg, in ancient Greece, messengers with bad news were not treated very well.
Right, so I'm trying to find a good one to at least end on.
Well, we appreciate what you do for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And just, again, heads up. And damage control, we always call Scotty for damage control. That will come after February. But adjust, your 2027 budget planning should start now. So,
One more question.
yes, sir.
In your,
What page?
4,
Okay.
or maybe a better one would be 5.
Okay. 4 is the one where we.
I'm trying to
pull it
figure
over.
out where it says non-municipal civil taxing districts, .1. That's libraries and,
Yeah, that's the one that we don't need much.
I say it doesn't, so we get to keep whatever's left of that we don't do.
No, that's being nixed
So
too.
it is.
Yeah, that 75%er that I told you, I didn't even put in these versions.
Because I think that .1 is a lot higher than we need for all of those
Yeah.
non-municipal.
So the 75-25 split, I was waiting for that to go first day and it did. So it is in the Senate, that the sharing, that made no sense. Okay, enact the rate you need. And so, yes, that light is not in the tunnel either.
So for everybody sitting in the audience right now, if you live in a city or town, your tax rate, income tax will go up about, if it stays the way it is right now, about 0.5%. If you live in the county, it's gonna go down about 0.6.
Well, we demonstrate that on page 4. Yeah.
That's what I said. People that live in nice houses out in the county are gonna win in this deal and everybody else loses.
It is interesting, so I keep getting the argument, why would I annex? And, you know,
It
things
makes
that
that a lot
make you
more
go,
difficult. It used to be
Yeah.
yes, because nothing changed. Now it's like, why would I want 0.5% higher income?
right, may want to build a nice subdivision out in the county if you can get the services. Obviously, the infrastructure and the services are key. So, and with your regional sewer district, I think that makes you kind of attractive. And, several counties, we're looking at doing more with our regional sewer districts and even going to things like SRF, which they have never funded counties before, but they're interested in possibly doing that.
But
So-
they're not gonna wanna fund, we have too much.
Pardon me?
We have too much money for SRF.
Well, yes, I wasn't talking about
Okay,
Hendricks.
yes.
But that's not
I know,
necessarily,
if you make a little,
yes, you and I've done this before.
Yes.
Was it Sheridan in Hamilton County did something with a regional sewer district with some ARPA money?
Maybe, I don't know, Dave. Sheridan did do a work on a consolidation with Adams Township.
Cicero did something up 31, something with some ARPA money.
Yeah, Hamilton County did use some of their ARPA on water and sewer and things like that, but, that game's dried up, right, and long gone. So,
Any more questions or comments for Mr. Veritas?
Yeah. Well, I'll put one foot on my soapbox. We're the fiscal body, and I think over the years, especially with Greg's assistance, I think we've been good stewards of the monies that we've had available to us. We've accomplished a great deal, I think, working with commissioners. And I think what we've done, I think, has improved the quality of life in Hendricks County. And as Oliver Wendell Holmes said many years ago, taxes are the price we pay for a civilized society. And my observation is that when you have legislators whose primary goal is to reduce taxes, it's a formula for bad government. It's a formula for reduced services. And it's a formula for giving us a place where people don't want to live. And it pains me to think that we have people who make these laws who are so short-sighted or with such a lack of knowledge that they're able to accomplish those goals of reducing taxes. It sounds good to people who are taxpayers, but I don't think the long view justifies the actions that are taken. And with that, I'll step off my soapbox.
And
Thank
to
you.
help you end on a good note, Larry, I believe you've done an extremely good job. And having a team of the council and the commissioners is so important that can work together, not beat each other up. Going forward is so important. So, and thank you for your comment on us, but you've done an extremely good job. There's my good note.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you very much.
Okay.
This is just, when's the state plan on having income totals for units into this year, allegedly?
Allegedly. But they're going to be counting on.
I'm telling you, with the GIS that's out there, other counties have, it's gonna be decades before they
Yes.
have those numbers.
Maybe even longer than that. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Next item is for additional appropriations. At this time, I'm going to open up for a public hearing for any comments concerning those. Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing.
Move to approve 1 through 4.
We have a motion to approve 1 through 4. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a second to the motion. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes 7-0. Next is transfers within departments. Is there discussion, comments?
Move to approve.
Yeah.
We have a motion to approve transfers 1 through 2.
Second.
We have a second to that motion. Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Passes 7-0. Under other business, we have a COI from Mr. Watson. I don't know
Yep.
that we need to discuss.
No, I'm going to, just because it says you need to on the, on the state website, it says you have to. I don't have any projects with the county, but I do own a civil engineering consulting business, and sometimes I work with other consulting firms that might work with the county. So I fill this out every year, and if there's a project that I do work on with the county, I'll let you guys know, but this is just, I fill this out every year just to cover myself.
Yeah.
Did you file this?
Yep, I filed with the state,
electronically?
yep, I
Is it
sent,
us?
yeah, I
If
sent
you
it to the
did,
state.
Ann would
Yep,
send it.
I uploaded it, it's, yep, I just want to let everybody know that I was making that, and there it is.
Well, we appreciate that
Yes.
you disclosing that. Next item is the status of funds. Any discussion on that?
I think we should note that that's the new budget, new rates and levies
We didn't-
on there, so.
And something I noticed is, we didn't appropriate any money out of rainy day. Should we make a appropriation out of there, so if we have to spend it, we can?
I highly suggest that. First of all, remember, that's our absolute bottom dollar, and if an emergency occurs, and that is how it's portrayed to the rating agencies. So I know there's been a year or two that it hasn't, and I highly recommend you do $500,000 for if a tornado hits this building, you can put a roof on tomorrow.
Could we
Yeah, next month.
do that next month and just appropriation out of there, just to have it there? We probably won't spend it, but it's nice to have if something happens to have it.
We're not anticipating.
We've used it a
any-
couple times, I can remember in the past,
Yeah.
yeah, with big accidents. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that recommendation.
But that's a good one, Eric.
We need to set that up for next month.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Eric?
No, I just thought about that.
Did any vote on that?
No, I think we just recognized the status of funds. Okay, next is the sheriff's commissary report. Is there any questions for the sheriff?
Yes, and I think I've asked this question in years past. The video visitation and inmate phones, what are we charging to get that kind of revenue?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the fee is, I'd have to go back and look at it. I will say that federally, with the Market Right Act, they are trying to work through a process to stop any funds being shared with the sheriff's office, so that would obviously reduce that to zero for us. There is an option for all family members to come in to visit with their family through video from the sheriff's office. So they pay for the opportunity to sit at home on their laptop and video chat with their loved ones. Again, they can come in and do so for free if they don't have to be able to chat with them from home.
But that's only if they come to the jail.
Yes, they have to come to the jail if they want to do it for free. Yes, sir.
Is there any waiver if somebody's like handicapped or injured or sick? There's any type of a waiver system in place that they can apply to have that for free?
For their family members to come in.
If they need to do that from home versus come in for a short period or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I will say that I think statutorily, we're required to give them a pen and paper and allow them to write each other. Beyond that, we don't have the requirement to make them or give them the opportunity to see each other and to have those conversations. Obviously, we don't do the face-to-face visits like we used to because of trafficking and a lot of issues that we had there in the past. But I can look at what our fees are, but I think we're in line with most other agencies using that system, the video chat.
Well, I'm just saying, if they can show you that there's a need And, I wouldn't be interested in it, so I wanted for a short period, they can prove to you if they have the need, there's a reason they can't come in.
Right.
I have a question.
I guess I've always, maybe not always, but for a long time, been, I guess, critical of the fees that we've charged jail inmates for, used to be just phone calls. When I was practicing and had clients that were in jail, and I'd get a call from an inmate and who apparently didn't have funds, and so I was asked to pay for the call. It was $5 for a phone call, and I thought then it was exorbitant. Probably hasn't been reduced. It's probably still exorbitant. I thought then, thought now, we're taking advantage of people. We have a true captive audience, and we may be soaking people because they don't have any other choice.
So if I could just add, each inmate is provided a tablet.
Sheriff, could you come?
Yeah, each inmate is provided a tablet. As long as they behave and follow the rules, they have that tablet. They can rent movies that are DOC approved. They can listen to music. They can text with their loved ones, or they can video chat with their loved ones. Obviously, those things come at a cost for that access to their family, their loved ones, to friends, whoever is on their list that they can have conversations with. So, again, the requirement, we give them a pen and paper and they can write each other all day long. That's the only requirement. This is just an added opportunity for them to be able to communicate with each other. And obviously that comes at a cost. It doesn't come to a cost to the taxpayer, just to the inmate and their family.
I have a question.
Sure.
I'm looking at your form. With the problems down in southern Indiana, there's been quite a scrutiny on Sheriff's Department commissary funds. Does this form meet their standards? I see it's a state prescribed form, so.
Yes.
Because I've heard all kinds of stories about different forms. So if they're satisfied with this, I'm totally satisfied with it.
Yes, I believe, again, obviously, we as a Sheriff's Association volunteered to up the reporting requirements, which was passed last year. And so instead of getting 1 year reports, you get quarterly reports as far as the commissary and what we're spending it on. Under areas of benefit, the equipment, that $150,000, that was for tasers. So again, not charging the taxpayer for us to be able to do our jobs with a very essential piece of equipment that we have. We use that commissary to pay for that. So.
Is this our first quarterly?
No, you received one.
Semi-annual.
I think you received two last year. You've received two since July for 25, and then
It's quarterly
this is the
now.
third one.
Clarification, the tasers are for the merit deputies and not for the jailmates.
Yes.
As you were talking about iPads and all this other stuff, I hope there wasn't
No,
taser.
tasers are for the employee, for the deputies. The tablets are for the
I
inmates.
just want clarification for that, Sheriff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I noticed that at the top here, it says Form 380 by the State Board of Accounts.
Yep.
So this should be.
Yes.
Is this a new, because this is the way yours looked before. I always said Hendricks does it right, so I don't think there's ever a problem here, but I don't remember the 380 at the top, but maybe it's always been there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that at the top there, but I think we've always tried to report, obviously, as accurately as we can, so.
They used to be extremely picky about their form numbers, and that's kind of died over the electronic years of technology, so.
Right.
Okay, well.
And I will say our inmate population, my goodness, we were up over 380 recently. Obviously, the more inmates, average stay, I think, is around 32 days. That includes the gentleman who was just recently convicted that we had nearly 2 years with us. So obviously, that 32 days, most of our population stay 32 days or less on average. So.
How long will it be before DOC picks up that
We'll see. I'm hopeful. Today, right now, we're 371 inmates. So, again, our population's up about 30% since we moved from the old jail to the new jail, which again, more people.
Build it and they will come.
100%. So, unfortunately, yes.
I'd like to add that I agree with Larry, bottom line is justice, okay? It's done correctly and honestly. And I would just hate to think that somebody's sitting in jail with no money and his attorney is honoring up that he doesn't want to accept the haul and he can't pass something that might help him get out.
If you're talking about attorneys, those do not count in those fees. They speak to their attorneys.
And all their attorneys free?
Yes, yeah, they have the opportunity to visit with their counsel for free.
All right, good.
Further discussion concerning the commissary report? No, we'll note that we've reviewed the commissary report. Next is the sheriff's jail meal breakdown report. Is there any comments or any questions for the sheriff?
Any complaints about the food?
No, again, we use Airmark, which Airmark does a great job. They supply a lot of school systems food as well, so the food quality is great. Obviously, the amount of money that it costs us we're greatly saved because we use inmate workers to cook the food. So obviously that reduces the expense and need for them to have employees. They do have a supervisor that oversees the kitchen, but if you look at how much it costs us a meal, it's very efficient.
Yeah. You've used, the jail has used them for quite some time now, haven't
Oh, we've used them for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do a great job. Yeah.
Well, hearing no other comments, thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have reviewed the jail meal breakdown. Our next item is the Tourism Commission Fund report from June 1st of 25 until November 30th of 25. Jamie Bowler-Smith has submitted this to us. I haven't seen her this morning, so I don't know that there's anyone here to speak on it other than we just are reviewing the report.
Just reviewing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Way out of the news now. I would say, Larry, me and Nancy were both at a thing the other day for the Hendricks County Tourism, where they're coming out with a new logo that's really sharp. And I think that's,
I've been following some of the reports as far as their the brand.
yeah, I think they're, if I remember right, February, they're gonna have a rollout.
February 12th at Hendricks Live at Plainfield, there's a
Yes.
rollout.
They're gonna have a rollout, and it's really impressive.
I've received an invite to that. I'm not sure. Okay.
That's really impressive. They'll be passing out a bunch of free shit.
Okay.
Stuff.
Next item is the HR report. Anything to report on or other comments on that, Aaron, or no? Just for our review, for our information? All right.
with these hires? The sheriff is fully staffed now?
Yes, so we had one young man that we're waiting on his physical back, but we should be, we're on a good track. I'm hoping to be completely fully staffed by February. But we're still working on animal control. We got interviews going on. We actually just had a couple of young men started in jail today to replace those that we sent to the academy recently. And yeah, so I had one red deputy that I'm waiting on his physical, and then he'll be hired to do his physical back.
That's very, this is really positive compared to 2 years ago. We had so many vacancies, so, yes, well, good, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, we'll open up for public comments from anyone in the audience. Yes, sir, state your name and address and what's on your mind?
Jay Thompson, 7722 Quail Creek Trace in Pittsburgh. First off, a clarification, the FCC does not recognize the term prisoner or inmate when they're dealing with these phone calls. They prefer incarcerated persons. Yes, so I don't know, maybe those are law-abiding were ex-carcerateds or out-carcerateds, not sure how that works. The other item, and I'm glad Greg Garitas is here, during the August budget hearings in Pittsburgh, the town council president and the town manager were talking about the number of runs our police department makes outside the town boundary. And the discussion went to possibly forming a police territory, as Greg stated, and collecting a fee from the county to assist with police runs outside our town boundaries. And I was wondering, did anybody make a formal presentation to you guys or request anything along those lines? Okay.
I don't recall that.
Okay, I just wondered, because Greg was in that discussion group too, and I think he used the term police territory.
I don't
So
recall.
I had a discussion with the sheriff about it shortly after, because I thought it was kind of odd. It would be hard to figure out how you would bill somebody for that. And kind of got blown out of proportion at the town level, so I just wanted to make sure that if it stayed in there, you know, it's on town hall streams and the verbiage is there about fees. It wasn't my idea. I just was reiterating, I didn't think it was something that was valid. So.
I don't think anyone on the council's been approached on that.
Could I make a comment?
Sure.
I did just speak with the chief about this topic in particular. Obviously, we assist in the town on calls for service when they need us. They come out and help us when we need them, whoever's closer, especially in emergency situations. And so I don't see an opportunity that we would just pass money back and forth with each other from month to month, because I would assume in the end of the day, if it's not a wash, we are helping each other out on a daily basis, and I would hate to see us get into a position where we weren't helping a community member because we were fearful that we were going to be charged for that. I don't see that actually coming to pass. I know the chief wasn't in favor of that in my conversations with him. So.
And I think maybe I mistakenly said the chief was going to do it versus Jason Love said collect our fee. I went back and watched the thing again to find out, because I knew I hadn't read this up.
Right.
So I just wanted a clarification.
Yeah, well, town citizens are county citizens too.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So it's good to be able to.
Yeah.
And again, the relationships between the agencies, in my career have not been better. The amount of effort that is put into making sure that we're serving the community, regardless of jurisdiction, is at the forefront of our efforts. So.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, just a comment on that. Years and years ago, when I was in law enforcement for Hunting, Illinois, at midnight, the county deputy went home, and the county had no coverage at all from midnight till 8 a.m. And it was notorious for Clinton to have to go out and handle bad accidents outside the city limits at night. They finally put a stop to that, and which forced the sheriff's department to hire more people to handle that. And so, again, if you're talking emergencies, yeah, we have the 911 where everybody helps everybody. But if you're talking non-emergency type stuff, sometimes you just have to say no, call the sheriff's department. And don't take your people out of their protection.
Okay, thank you. Any other public comments, thoughts? All right, close that. Council, Mr. Cox.
Really don't have anything to add on the ACT program. It's running good. On the senior services, it's running good. Like I said, we just Nancy was at kind of a primary breakout for the visitors thing that's coming up. I was highly impressed with that, the reference there. And other than that, I'm looking forward to another new year and working with everybody.
All right, thank you. Ms. Marsh?
Like Dave said, we both attended the initial new branding for tourism that they showed a little bit of leadership. I have maybe a request. I've read through, I'm not even sure where I read this, that the council will be appointing a member to the Animal Control Advisory Board, whatever the board's going to be called. And I love Hendricks County, and as you know, and I love animals also, and I would like to volunteer for this if the council so pleases.
Well, the council will not be making an appointment, but the commissioners have requested that Mr. Parsons serve
Okay.
on that in lieu of that situation. And so, and Chuck agreed to serve on that as their appointee.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
I guess, adding to that, a question would be, should we have that power for that appointment versus the commissioners? Since there's money involved in that entity.
The way it read, as we understood it, it was the commissioner's appointment of a council member to that group, as opposed to a council appointment to the advisory board.
I'm just,
That's why we did it that way.
not that I disagree, I just had that question is, should we, as other boards, have that appointment power versus them?
I wondered
Rhonda
about,
might
I
look at that
wondered
for us.
about that also. Counselor, would you have any comment on that? Or maybe
Not
we should,
offhand, I don't know if that's statutory, or I will have to look at that to see how that appointment scheme works, or if it's done by, it might be done by ordinance. Not sure.
okay, well, at this point, I think the council is fine with one of our members being your appointee.
And if you want to make a motion,
Well,
add our motion in agreement to that appointment, I suppose we could.
Well, we'll take some.
But after she reviews that,
After the
comes back
council,
maybe next meeting.
review, we'll have a review on it. Okay, Ms. Marjorie, anything else?
No.
Mr. Wyeth?
Just a couple quick things. Last night was obviously a great night for the state of Indiana and Indiana University, Larry. I'm a big football fan, and that's sort of been an amazing football season for a lot of people here locally, because we had two schools win state championships with Cascade and Brownsburg. And back when I used to play football, I think they used to take the cows out of the pasture at Cascade before we played. But anyway, congratulations to both those schools and IU. Colts tried to do a good job at the very first half of the season, didn't all work out, but what an exciting time it was last night to watch all that. And Larry or Garatage was talking about Monroe County. All they got to do is raise the food and beverage just a tick, and they're going to have all kinds of money for the next couple of years.
We've done that.
So they're going to have money coming into Monroe County like left and right.
I went to about 5 hearings to get that passed.
So congratulations to all them. And as an old farmer, I have these old telltale signs. When it rains too much, you see water running different places. I know when water's standing, it's rained too much. But this morning, when I turned on the hydrant at 7:30 to water some cows, when steam's coming from fresh water, it's cold outside. It's cold outside. So when it's 60 degrees warmer than the water that's outside, that's saying something. So today is a cold day. Stay warm.
Thank you. Mr. Wathen?
Nope, nothing.
No? Okay. Mr. Hessen?
Oh, wait a minute, I do have something. I know the commissioners have said they're not really in favor of wind farms now, but I was out in California 2 weekends ago, and if we do ever allow them, we make sure that if they become inoperable, they get tore down, because once you're driving through the mountains out there, it's just like a graveyard of old wind turbines with blades broken off of them and just sitting there, and it's terrible.
Statues.
Yep.
The decommissioning.
Decommissioning, yes, because those will be there until they rot to the ground and then just lay there for probably.
We've actually done that, Eric. In some counties, we have over $1 million or $2 million decommissioning fund.
So you have to put that in a fund, because if they go bankrupt, they ain't gonna have any money.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That was just something for my trip, yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up, Eric. Thank you. Mr. Hessen?
what's been,
I know, you're speechless.
yeah, I am. There's clearly legislation that's been proposed, and some of which is going to pass, some won't. And one of them that won't is to do away with property taxes. But there is a bill, House Bill 1161, which was filed by Representative Lawson, and I testified on it last week, I guess it was, which would do several things, one of which is for expenditures by the park board, and assuming that the bill passes as it currently is written, the park board would come to the council for approval of expenditures of, the last figure that I saw was $750,000 or more. Probably not going to happen anytime soon, but anyway, that's it's kind of an oversight, I guess. And another provision of 1161 is that county commissioners' appointments would be at will, rather than for a term certain. It would still be for a term, but commissioners could remove those appointees at any time. The Council's Association was asked if we wanted to have the same authority, and the Executive Committee for the Council's Association determined that that was not a power that we wish to have. So the bill, as it's progressing, would have the commissioners with that authority only. And I think that, last I heard, I think the bill has a good chance of being successful.
What's the last date there is for when bills come out of committee to know if they're like actually viable?
Monday.
This coming Monday?
And also, the AIC Legislative Conference is
Next week.
Nancy, you know?
Next Tuesday and Wednesday.
Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. And if you have the opportunity, you can still sign up for that, contacting the AIC office and asking for Jackie. That's it.
All right.
Everything, Mr. President, thank you, though.
I do not have any.
And, no? Ms. Alshire, no comments? Okay. Whoa, we have some questions.
I'll go ahead.
I just did find the Animal Control Advisory Board language that's in your local ordinance. And it's section 3202. So the Animal Control Advisory Group is purely to make recommendations to the Board of Commissioners. And the terms of office are for 1 year and may be reappointed and shall serve at the pleasure of the Board of Commissioners. The membership of the advisory group shall consist of, but not limited to, 1 county board of commissioners selected by the board, 1 county council member selected by the council, 1 veterinarian appointed by the Board of Commissioners, 1 member who works with an animal rescue group and who is in good standing with the Chief Animal Control Officer appointed by the Board of Commissioners, 1 member of the Friends of the Shelter to be recommended by the Friends of the Shelter and appointed by the Board of Commissioners, 1 representative from the County Sheriff's Department to be selected by the Sheriff, 1 citizen appointed by the Board of Commissioners, and the 8th one is 1 Chief Animal Control Officer who shall serve as an official member with no voting authority.
Okay, if I heard that right, I would entertain a motion for the council.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Chuck Parsons to that board.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
I'm abstaining.
Very good.
No confidence in yourself?
That's not it.
Motion passes 6-0-1. Okay, Mr. Dawes.
I should have made these comments to you when Aaron and I were up there.
You might want to
You
come
want me
on
to
up.
come on up? I didn't know when to get this in. So we have a vacancy as highway superintendent. John Ayers and I, Brad, Bob, will be interviewing several people today for that position as well. And then, as you know, as you maybe know, Jim Martis is retiring from regional sewer. And we're gonna move a lot of those administrative functions over to the commissioner's office, and Mila will be handling those in our office, but we will be paying her additional monies from the regional sewer fund, the same as Jim Martin, not the same amount of money, but the same way that Jim was paid, because he was paid, part of his money came from the regional sewer fund as well. So we're moving in that direction right now. And I will say that the auditor's office, especially this young lady, has been very helpful in working through some of this, and we'll be, before Jim leaves at the end of the month, we'll be getting more information from him as well, so that Mila will be able to function.
Okay, thank you.
So there'll be a new job description for Mila?
No. Well, that's a good question, Larry. We may have to change that some.
You should
you
look
do,
into
yeah.
that, because that's from
But-
two different
okay.
sources, yes.
Yeah, and
All right.
then you'll.
We haven't done that
ask
yet.
For us, for
It'll come back to
a
you.
salary figure, okay.
Well, it'll be 20,000 will be the number, which is, goodness, far less than what Jim was being paid. So overall, we will be paying less money out for the operation of that function of the county, the regional sewer district.
We'll still need to approve the new
Yes,
salary.
The job
Yeah,
description.
and job description and
Yeah.
salary, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
She's actually gonna be paid from regional sewers
doesn't
line.
matter.
Okay,
So it's two sources for an employee, county employee.
no, just making sure.
You may have to approve a new grade on that, all the way.
No.
If you add money to her salary for doing the extra work, we may have to change your grade.
Okay,
Well.
we'll look
it
at
will
that
get worked
then,
out,
but
and we'll review it.
the way Jim was paid was really two different
Correct.
ways. County general fund and then regional sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
Yeah.
mine was
Several-
paid through the county general fund now. We'll just use the regional sewer fund to pay her the additional.
Well, it can be worked out, we'll just make sure that
All right.
it's,
We'll do.
good. All right,
Thank you. You bet.
Thank you.
Good job, man.
Okay, with no further business for this meeting, I declare it
Adjourn.
adjourned. Thank you.